Alrighty then, let's talk about Shakur and Teo. So apparently, Teo said he don't mind fighting him. Shakur, it's just business. Shakur called him out on social media. Bob Arum says he would like to sign Shakur Stevenson back. They never had any bad words. On top of that, Turkey don't want to work with Teo anymore anyway. So it may work out. But as far as the fight, Shakur, easy. Teo may look at it as Shakur can't inflict any damage on me. But his problem is he don't do well with guys who utilize the ring. His feet. That's why when they be like, oh, Teo's such a great athlete, I'd be like, for what? A Honduran? Because he not that athletic. He look athletic versus Barboza. You know. He look athletic versus Barboza, guys like that. But versus Jermaine Ortiz and guys, if he fought guys like Devin Haney, Hitchison, he wouldn't be athletic. And that's why when it came to Turkey Al-Sheikh, he didn't want any of those fights. It's funny. I found what's funny, his father wanted to go with Eddie Renasso, and he don't do well versus those type of fighters, right? So it's an easy win for Shakur, in my opinion. At 40, wherever they do it at, it's because Teo cannot keep up with him athletically. He can't keep up with his boxing skills. So maybe he looking at it as, you know, Shakur may not be as big as Hitchens or Devin Haney. But the thing about it is his boxing ability is just going to be an easy night. You know, and maybe he think he can touch that chin. You know, but as far as Shakur boxing, utilizing the ring, it's going to be hard for him to cut that ring off on Shakur Stevenson. And that's just the God honest truth. And for him to, you know, actually, you know, win that fight, it's just going to be about, you know, really cutting that ring off, throwing more than one punch at a time, and using his jab. And those three things that he don't do well at all. He don't use the jab enough. And it sounds like we could be talking about Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he don't use the jab well enough. He don't have the feet, you know, and then he throw one shot at a time. You know, now if he get a stationary target like Barboza, yeah, he start kind of putting some punches together. And then also, in my opinion, there's some questions about his conditioning. You can question his conditioning. So I just think it's a bad matchup. I mean, it make a lot more sense had you just stayed in the loop with Turkey Al-Sheikh, where they pushing the action for more brawlers and more action, and it would have been more money than Bob Arum just doing the fight. But then again, you know, when you Teofemale Lopez and you socially awkward, that's the problem. And you're socially awkward. That's the number one problem. That's why that woman didn't want Teofemale Lopez. And that's why he has issues with Turkey. He has issues with Bob. That's why. That's exactly why. That's why he has the issues that he has. Exactly why. Because he lacks social skills. And just imagine, Teo was born in what? Early 2000s, late 90s? Just imagine. The kids that grew up with a tablet glued to their fucking head and grew up in this era who didn't go outside. That's how we developed social skills. We went outside, we rode bikes, we hooped, we slap boxed, we played pick 'em up, mess 'em up, we played sports. You know, and that's why you kind of get people talking about, well, I'm gonna homeschool my kids because of the dangers of the world. Understandably so, but your kids don't go outside to make friends. right? Even, the number of people that was in poverty, that was the thing about it. No air conditioning, had to go outside to make friends, had to drink out the water hose and shit like that, right? Now, nobody is living up to that standard no more. So nobody got to go outside and do shit no more. Nobody got to go be an adult. Learn to be social. So if I homeschool my kids, they don't go outside, they don't join the chess club or football team or the mathletes or whatever it may be, or the band, where is they getting social skills from? And on the shorts, I talked about the U.S. birth rate supposed to be at 2.1. It's at 1.6. We're trending towards extinction. And everybody just think it's womanist, feminist, whatever they call them, the hate and racism. No, it's the lack of socialism. It's a lack of social skills. That's the problem. People cannot socialize anymore. Everybody want to, cover their kids from the problem, and you cover your kids from all this bullshit, right? And they still bad as ever, right? But that's a different story for a different day. So T.O. is a social misfit. You're gonna see a lot more people socially awkward and misfits like T.O. in this next generation coming up. But that's where he lost at. That's exactly where he lost their life at. Is that he don't have the social skills. He don't know how to read the room, when to shut the fuck up, when to humble himself, when not to press send. And that's a real thing. It might be easy for me and you to be able to read the room, right? When to shut up, when a joke was a little bit too hard hitting. Well, me and you understand that. But a guy like Teofemale Lopez, he doesn't understand it. And he digs himself in these holes that he can't get himself out of. And now he might have to fight Shakur Stevenson for short money because he burned the Teofemale bridge. But as men, we can get over it. Yeah, we can get over that. So I think Teofemale could forgive him for, some of the disrespect that he had. But it was repetitive disrespect. And then, that becomes a problem, but so be it. If it make dollars, it makes sense. He said he was done working with Shakur. He worked with Shakur again and all that type of stuff. But also, Tank showed a lot of disrespect and he willing to work with Shakur. Jerron showed some disrespect by asking for a tune-up. He still was able to, want to work with Jerron in his deal. So at the end of the day, men, we can get over certain things, when it comes to money. Now, certain things that that may continue to go on that's unforgivable when we start, talking about things out in the personal realm or outside of making money together, So that's one thing that y'all have to really understand about the man law, right? Like, okay, we can be mortal enemies, but when it comes to getting this bag, we got to get this bag. That's Bible. That's law. And that's what they understand on Wall Street. Back in the day, or in the business world, they say the real gangsters are on Wall Street, And a lot of people will never actually understand what that means, But it's a real saying. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. So, but at the end of the day, I think Turkey coming in is not. At the end of the day, why not blaze your own path? Why not blaze your own path and find your own way? But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button, this bell icon button, hit all notification, increase your chance get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Appreciate the love support.